CKatt, this is your team.
These Baltimore Ravens, these Ravens right here, playing with house money and the fact that they have a win last week, they probably did not pencil in with how poorly the Ravens looked without Lamar Jackson the 3 previous weeks. So I feel pretty good as a Baltimore Ravens fan right now. Now we go. Like, this is where, like you said, the season begins.
Yeah.
Of course, Lamar Jackson going out with that hamstring injury. I wasn't able to watch that Ravens-Chiefs game. I was at the Ryder Cup. And then I kind of felt like Lamar Jackson was robbed away from me in the dark of night. So I didn't see him get hurt. All I saw was the notification on my ESPN app.
You know,
and now
funny?
he returns in prime time to whoop on some Dolphin tail.
Like, we didn't see him get hurt either watching the game.
Yeah.
Was the weird thing about it. He just, didn't come back out for a drive. We saw Cooper Rush warming up, and he didn't come back out. And it was a hamstring. It was obviously serious because after the loss, he sat out for another 3 weeks. But he returns. The Ravens' run game has gotten back straight. Derrick Henry has gotten back into his bag. The Ravens have been unleashing Keaton Mitchell out of the backfield a lot more lately. This is a game that is important for the Ravens, but it also is kind of important for the Miami Dolphins. I'll give you an option here. A blowout win for the Dolphins or a blowout win for the Ravens. Who does that do more for? If this game ends in blowout fashion, but it's the Dolphins with a back-to-back blowout wins over expected playoff teams, Mike McDaniel could be in a situation where you're looking at him and saying, man, did he just save his job? Is Tua Tagovailoa actually a guy that can return to form and be a franchise quarterback? Do the Dolphins have some serious decisions to make around the trade deadline, but instead of being sellers, maybe standing pat or being buyers? But for the Ravens, you get a blowout win here. It is reclaiming what we thought you were before the season. You would improve to 3-5. You would now be a game and a half back of the Steelers for the AFC North. You're already the odds-on favorite to win the division, despite having only 2 wins through Week 8. You already are minus odds to make the playoffs right now. So the expectation is that the Ravens get the win here, but a blowout would bring them right back into the elite tier status that we expected them to be in because Lamar Jackson would be back at the helm doing it. And when I pose those two things up against each other, I still do believe the Ravens need this more. The Ravens would benefit most from a blowout win tonight, and I do think that is what we end up seeing with the Baltimore Ravens coming in here with a chip on their shoulder, very extremely thirsty, and with a well-rested Lamar Jackson who can't wait to prove that he is the 2-time MVP, who should have had a 3rd one last year, who likely, if he starts playing the way that he has shown to do in the past, 4 times the Dolphins have played against Lamar Jackson. 2 of them have ended in Jackson 5s. And you know what a Jackson 5 is.
Of course.
That means that he scored not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 touchdowns in that game with his arm or with his legs. And both of those times, it was actually 5 passing touchdowns. Lamar Jackson has a chance tonight on Thursday Night Football in prime time to reclaim his throne as the most electrifying player in the NFL, to reclaim his team's throne as a contender in the AFC and a Super Bowl contender in the NFL. But most importantly, he has a chance to get back into form as the Ravens are going to have – it's like do or die for the rest of their schedule at this point.
Exactly.
It's like college football.
If the Ravens came into this game at 5-2, I would say this means more for the Dolphins, even though they would still be 2-6. But the fact that the Ravens have taken so many losses early in the season, the Ravens kind of feel like they are in, okay, they can lose 2 more games this season. That's it. And they play the Patriots and the Packers in the second half of their season, and the rest is Steelers divisional games, Bengals divisional games. They've got the Browns one more time. But you need to make games like this against a team like the Miami Dolphins, who most teams have been able to blow out and embarrass, including a team in your own division, the Cleveland Browns, were able to blow out and embarrass. You've got to do the same thing, even if it's Lamar Jackson at 75% capacity, where he's half as effective with his legs due to coming back from the hamstring injury. They've got to definitely put their foot down, stomp the bug, and move on to next week with a extended half bye week, essentially.
With Tyler Huntley, not Lamar Jackson, but with Tyler Huntley, the Ravens were able to rush for 177 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and they played mistake-free football, no turnovers. The Ravens have now a full-strength backfield. They got 3 running backs they can go to: Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, and of course the king, Derrick Henry. And that Dolphins run defense has been absolutely, like, what do you call it? Heckle and Jive? Sheckle and Jive?
Jekyll and Hyde?
Jekyll and Hyde, whatever the hell that is.
Jekyll and Hyde, I think.
Jekyll and Hyde. Jackson 5. Whatever the hell it is, it's been hit or miss. They've had some good games where they've contained guys. Like, again, we just watched the Dolphins render the Falcons' rushing attack useless and blow them out. But we also saw Quinshon Judkins go for 3 touchdowns on them and look unstoppable. We also saw the Colts do it in week 1 with Jonathan Taylor. We've seen the Dolphins left and right throughout this season get absolutely embarrassed, not to mention what James Cook was able to do, cooking it up. I just don't see a world in which the Ravens walk in here with as much to lose as they have and not play with the team with their head on fire. It feels like the Dolphins kind of gave it their all last week, and I wonder how much of that is left. I wonder how much of that can continue to build on. And also, if the Ravens get into a situation where tonight, on Thursday Night Football, on the road, they need a superhero. Let's say they do somehow go down 10 points. Let's say they're down 2 possessions in the second half at some point, and they need a heroic performance. I expect Lamar to be that guy.
Yeah.
If that happens to the Dolphins, it's over.
Exactly. Last week in the Dolphins matchup against the Falcons, Kirk Cousins was asked to be that guy.
Yeah.
Like, they were, like, opportunities there, guys actually open, and he was simply who we learned him to be last year while he was benched for Michael Penix. So, yeah, the opportunities will be there. Yeah, I'm really wondering how much they will push Lamar, recuperating from the injury.
Yeah.
If there was a chance for him to play last week, that makes me feel really good about him this week being closer to 100%. I don't think he will be 100%, but they should take care of business here, especially with Derrick Henry. They talk with Derrick Henry. He just gets better as the season goes on.
Yeah, he does.
As the weather gets colder, I know the games in South Florida doesn't really matter, but just wearing down defenders, easing into the schedule, we might see that 1-2 punch that was historically great last year look like that tonight.
The Ravens are trying to defy the odds right now. The Baltimore Ravens are in rare air, but in not the kind of rare air you want to be. Only 1% of teams in NFL history, 1%. 1 out of 100. That means 99% of the time this does not work out. 1% of teams in NFL history have started 1-5 or worse and have bounced back to make the playoffs. The weird thing is all of the projections out there have the Ravens doing just that. The sports books have them favored to make the playoffs. The sports books have them favored to win their division. ESPN Analytics gives the Ravens a 43% chance of winning the AFC North and an even greater chance of making the playoffs. It will be historic when they do it, but the issue is we're not saying when, or we're not saying if, we're saying when.
Exactly. We are expecting it. We are expecting this history anomaly in the numbers to happen because, well, Lamar Jackson is an exception to the rule. Yeah. And when he gets injured early on, he is a one-man offense. He is, how we have learned, can be someone you build around and you craft the team around Lamar Jackson. You don't add him to the team you already crafted.
I can't wait for tonight, not because of the Dolphins and the Ravens. I do expect a Ravens domination at Hard Rock Stadium. I don't think that you can glean anything from the Dolphins off of that. I'm not saying this is to disparage what the Dolphins did last week. I just think that they pulled out all the stops, and they needed to. And they did it in a pinch, and they showed what they can be at their best. They're going up against a team that's desperate right now. The Bears were kind of feeling themselves. The Bears were had won 4 straight at that point. Caleb Williams is still a little bit erratic at the quarterback position, and he still is working on his chemistry with his guys, working in a new offense with Ben Johnson. No, the Ravens have an identity. They know who they are, and they know who they are not. And they are going to take what the Dolphins defense gives you. And if you've seen the Dolphins defense this year, you know they'll give you a lot. So I expect a bludgeoning at Hard Rock Stadium. And that's Dolphins fans, fear not.